we're dealing with intelligences, guys. That could be a million years ahead of us in terms of technology. Disclosure cannot happen right now because people aren't ready. And there is no way to lift up Pandora's box just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because once you crack Pandora's box, all hell breaks loose. You can't tell just a little bit of the story, because if you start telling even a little bit, you're going to have a time bomb on your hands, because everybody is going to want to know more. The extraterrestrial reality, as I have said, and will continue to say till the day I die, is the greatest story in human history. And it must be told. Eventually it will be told. But I don't anticipate living to see it. I have often thought that it may take another 50 years. When I first began, I had no idea what I was getting into. I learned years and years ago that this was real, that the government knew it was real, and the government was sitting on top of it. But when I was in the infantry, or in the military, I was at SHAPE headquarters in Paris. I had a cosmic top secret clearance. I couldn't talk about it. I simply dedicated my life to finding out what it was really all about. When I left the military, we knew of 4 different groups, and one of those groups looked exactly like we do. They were all humanoid, but one was not literally, totally human. I got so damn sick and tired of arguing with skeptics who have never bothered to do their homework. These guys are still living in the 19th century, many of them. And it's like I mentioned to you before, I think a lot of it is that there's a deep-seated fear that if this is really true, what's that going to mean to my view of the world? Well, it's going to mean your view of the world is going to collapse around your damn ears.
Right.
The skeptics say, you can't keep secrets. The government can't keep. Well, the hell they can't. They have done it from the beginning. How do you tell people that JFK, poor guy, was bumped off as a result of a conspiracy? It's easy to lie to the American people because they really don't do their homework. As long as you keep them entertained, they're happy. It's part of the national security state, and it's based upon, frankly, I think, the reality of the extraterrestrial presence, which the government today will not even begin to admit, will not even begin to address, because as I jokingly told you before, if you open Pandora's box just a tiny bit, the lid's going to fly off, and then all hell, And they don't want that. Because when that happens, when that reality impacts the average individual on this planet, not just the American people, but the whole human species on this planet, when that reality impacts them, nothing will ever be the same. It's impossible to address the reality of the extraterrestrial presence unless you've studied history. Because they have been with us for several thousands of years. And history is filled with it. It really isn't about so-called UFOs. It isn't about extraterrestrial presence on the planet. It's about us. That's the big secret. Who we are, how we came to be, and where we're going. That is the real essence of this whole thing. And so it is so vast and so earth-shaking in its implications that I now understand why the government can't release it. Not even a little bit, at least now. The human race has some growing up to do. And we're slow learners. Sadly enough, there's going to be a lot of lives lost and a lot of bloodshed before we finally get our act together.
there's evidence to suggest that there is some sort of faster than light travel from this particular field.